Spencer, and you're watching RSG TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've got a lot of videos on renovating houses and flipping houses, things like that, with 3-month turnaround time, put it back on the market, sell it kind of stuff. I don't have any videos of rental property, and I thought what better time to talk a little bit about rentals than with what we got going on in the stock market, coronavirus, all that stuff. I do not have some hedge of rentals, stocks, investments, things like that. My income's real estate sales. That's what I do all day. I am getting into the rental game. I've been working with landlords for 6-7 years, finding rental property, and I'm just finally starting to acquire my own and build our own portfolio with me and some friends. And the one I'm taking you to right now is 410 Madison. I think it's Madison Street in Franklin. And I posted on Facebook a little bit about this property, but it was listed for $50,000, and it was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. And I took a day and went and looked at like 7, small little inexpensive houses, and this one stood out to me as my favorite. I think it would have sold if people had just taken the time to go look at it, because it had a really large, it had like a dining room off of a living room, and they were both kind of oversized for the square footage of the house and the bedroom count. So we're going to take, it's kind of an L-shaped living room. We're going to take half of it and make it a bedroom, so we're going to have a 3-1. If it was a flip, like we're going to turn around and sell it, I definitely want a 3-2. But for what we're doing, this is going to be fine. You'll see it in a minute, but really, to rent it out, all we really would have to do is get appliances and do some cleaning, maybe some carpet at the bare minimum. But I try to always try to go the extra mile, and we're gonna add a 3rd room. We're gonna do new flooring. We're gonna do a lot of painting. We're gonna put a whole new heating and cooling system in it. The other one's there. There's a good chance we could get it running, but at what cost and how many phone calls while you're trying to manage it. So we're gonna put a new system in. The roof is getting pretty old, but I think we can squeeze a few more years out of it. So we're gonna roll with the roof that's there. And we're just going to clean the heck out of it. The bathroom, there's some floor going rotten around like the tub toilet area, so we're just going to pull those things out, replace the floor, replace the warped paneling with some sheetrock, and as cheap as sinks and toilets are, probably just put new stuff in if we're going to take the time to pull stuff out. But the main point of my video, also while we're all kind of stuck in quarantine, one point I want to make is we could flip this house. So we bought it for, it was listed for $50,000. It was reduced I think a few times. It got down to $37. I offered $22, and they came back at $29, and I took it. Closed in 2.5 weeks. Real mild, just quick inspections. The crawl space is actually in great shape. The wood, it was a very well built house. We went through the attic. We went through the crawl space and the attic in depth. The rest of the house I don't really care about. We're going to be fixing it up and doing different stuff. But it checked out really well for the price of the house, because there's a lot of stuff for 15 and 20 and 25 grand, not necessarily on the market, but that I know of. But the floors are caving in, there's termite infested, things like that. So to find a nice solid house, as a lot of people say, a house with good bones, I try not to use that term, but that's a good example of this house. But the example I want to bring up is, we could buy this. We bought this for $29. Just say we could sell it for $115. By the time we pay everything, we could still profit. We could still profit like $30,000-ish. So we could make $30,000 to $35,000 flipping this house if we wanted to. And that sounds like great money, and it is great money, and you can do a lot with $30,000. You can find another house to buy. At the same time, flipping houses is a job, and don't take nothing away the wrong way. Like, I like doing it. I know a lot of people that's what they do. But at the same time, if you stop flipping, the money stops. If you go on vacation, the money stops. If you're not there, you're sick, you come down with something, you name it, when you stop, the money stops. Rentals work for you when you're not there. So just a little example I have is we can make $30,000 flipping it. Or, also let me interject this. I'll do a whole nother video on looking at cap rates and things like that. I'm not factoring in taxes. I'm not factoring in capital expenses like a roof job and things like that. I'm just looking at straight how much money's coming in over the course of however many years. So these numbers are high because I haven't factored in taxes and stuff like that. But if we flip it, we make 30 grand. in 1 year off renting it, $8,400. At year 3, $25,000. At year 6, $50,000. And we're having a, not only is it that money, that's profit coming in, we also have now a paid for asset that's worth at least 100, 125, give or take whatever market, whatever the market's doing. But I'm 35 years old. When I'm 65 on just this one house, when I'm 65, this house, and rent's gonna keep going up too, but at 65, if everything stayed the same as it is now, 30 years later, we will have made $252,000 on this house. And it's also worth at least like 100 grand at some point in the future, if not 125 or 150. So you add that to 252 and you're at 352. So $352,000 made before taxes on a $29,000 house that we're gonna spend, I don't know, 10 or 12,000 on right now to get fixed up. Yeah, it's got a roof coming up that's 4 or 5 grand. But that just goes to show you the power of rentals versus flipping. Sometimes you need the money, sometimes you can buy and hold. So that's just one house. So imagine these guys that have 50 houses, just 10 houses. 10 houses, 50 houses. I know guys with hundreds and 200s of paid for houses. Now some of these guys didn't start from scratch, but still, think about how much money that is coming in. Not necessarily recession proof, but in my opinion, maybe a little bit less volatile than the stock market. And I like stocks as well. I'm trying to get into that game, but we're just talking about rentals. I think that's all I got to say. So stay tuned. So here it is, 410 Madison, Franklin. And one thing I forgot to talk about on the way over here was I looked up what a 2-bedroom goes for. A 2-bedroom, according to the MLS, will rent for $5 to $550. Honestly, $550 no problem based on stuff I saw. And then is it worth it to pretty much put a wall up here and create a 3rd bedroom? And for 3 bedrooms, I was looking at $750, and even $800s. So we're talking $200-ish a month more for a 3-bedroom versus a 2-bedroom. Plus, I want to keep everything as liquid as possible. These houses are paid for. We don't have loans, but if we ever did want to do a refi, just say you got 5 properties, you could bundle them up or not bundle them up. You could refinance, use that money to go take on a bigger project, an apartment building, then come back and pay your houses off. Once you get a couple assets, you can start really moving money around and playing games. But I want everything to stay as appraisal worthy as possible. So if that includes siding and peeling paint, wrap and trim, and a 2-bedroom versus a 3-bedroom is going to help a lot with an appraised value. So that's why we're going to make it a 3-bedroom. Going to add a wall here, there, work the closet out. We got a couple different ideas.